Hey guys, today we're reviewing the beast Liger Magai, the first of two Zoids released to mark the 20th anniversary of Monster Hunter and the 40th of Zoids. We're going to unbox the kit, compare it to the original beast Liger, and check it out in action. Let's take a look.
Robo Shop.
Alright, let's see what we got here. First of all, I gotta say that this is among the better Zoids box art that I've seen in my life. We've got here, I'm gonna tilt this a little so that you can see it without the glare from my ring light here. I mean, it just looks really cool. And apparently what this is, I mean, this seems to be the creature from Monster Hunter that this Zoid is based on, and they're facing off against each other. It says here Beast Liger Magai. We have it's the 20th anniversary of Monster Hunter and the 40th anniversary of Zoids, of course. Otherwise, let me see if I can fit this under the camera here. On the back, we have a little bit of fluff here that I'm going to translate later, and then we have fairly standard stuff for a Zoids box. We have the Beast Liger Magai from a couple of different angles here, and it shows the gimmicks. Doesn't show that it walks though, funnily enough. And then on the side flaps, if I can just get this cut here, we have here bone mode, regular mode, blast mode. Funnily enough, this as well, it doesn't, it just shows that it walks here. And yeah, and here, this seems to be the extra parts that it comes with. And on this side, upside down, hold on, yeah, we just have, this is the Beast Liger illustration, and this is the Sonic Bird illustration from the other box. And that's about it. So let's take a look at what's in here. I'm real curious to see the colors, most of all, obviously. So pull this out, and we have instructions. We have the gearbox, standard Zoids well gearbox as per usual. And here we have this is the contraption for the blast mode claws in the new yellow color. And then we have C. This is S, A, and B, and your usual cardboard insert. And that's all the backs. So let's. All right. So we have the new illustration on the front here. This is relatively cheap paper, but it's not that big of a deal. We've got this stuff that's also printed on the back of the box. And then we have a parts list, which from the look of it, A and B are standard, just Beast Liger parts, and then C is the bag with all of the extra parts. S also doesn't come with anything special. And then the rest of this, of course, this is the building instructions, one step at a time, no color coding. And it is, hold on, up until here, it's standard how to build a Beast Liger. Yeah. And okay, and then here starting on this page, it starts to tell you how to convert this into the Monster Hunter Beast Liger, although it looks to me like, okay, these blade parts just plug onto the tail, and the blades here at the front also just plug on, and that's it. What I'm curious about is why all this seems to be included. There's a whole lot of extra weapon parts here. I'm going to have to run Google Translate across these instructions to figure this one out, I think. Let's take a look at the parts now. All right, so the S-Bag, as usual, I'm not going to open. We have, interestingly enough, actually I am going to open it because I want to show you guys something I just noticed. For the first time ever, outside of the Hasbro release, we have a painted pilot figure here. Of course, this is just a standard Zoids Wild pilot, but it is painted purple. And yeah, looks better than the clear ones, sorry. And then we have, you know, all the mechanical stuff that's yellow, and we have the rubber caps in purple, and otherwise there isn't really a whole lot to see in the S-Bag, obviously, so I'm going to put that away. And now I'm worried about stuff falling out. Now, here we go. And just so that I've said it once, because this is a Zoids Wild review and I have to complain about it, too much freaking plastic waste. Holy cow. How many plastic bags do you need to store a couple of plastic pieces? Well, carefully you don't throw this away because it has this here separately. I think that was also the case with the original Beast Liger, if I remember correctly. They did do that sometimes. Like all these plastic bags, and then still basically it doesn't follow what seems to be its own like principle of how it's packaged. Anyway, here we have the legs and the torso halves. I'm not going to go into huge detail about this. It's a Beast Liger. You've seen all these before. Otherwise, check out my previous Beast Liger reviews. Very sort of interesting, like reddish brown color here. Also for the torso halves. And then packaged separately in bag A2 for no apparent reason. We have these lever pieces that drive the this is what drives the leg and I think also the jaw movement, the power switch and the tail, all in this sort of reddish earth color. Now here, of course, we have all of the pre-painted pieces that come in this bag that's designed to protect them from the paint getting rubbed off in transport. Also a little excessive, but I can understand why they would do that. So no complaints about the amount of plastic they use for this. But really, the other two A bags, like, come on. So anyway, this is the sort of the chest and the lower jaw, of course. And the teeth are painted on here in a yellow that is a good match for this, I would say. Same thing on the other side. And then we have the upper half of the head. Looking at this closely, the yellow isn't entirely even. There's a bit of paint here and here. The edge isn't super clean, but I would say good enough. This one looks better. And then the these pieces here, I think these are molded in, well, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell if they're, I think they look like they're painted. So they're coated, they're molded in a different color and then coated in the same paint. If I knew where If I could think of a spot where it's invisible, I could scrape the paint off and check for you, but I'm not going to do that. And then we have the feet here, which all have painted claws. And for some reason, this peg. Oh, okay. Okay, no, I see. I see. These are actually molded in yellow, and then they are painted purple. It's the purple parts that's paint on here. Because you can see here, this is the injection gate, right? And of course, they left the paint off of the peg so that the movement would still work properly. That makes sense. Hence why you have a yellow peg on here when it looks like the yellow is the highlight color, because actually it's not. Now, B. Also, 3 separate bags of questionable necessity. Here is all of the yellow stuff. Again, not terribly interesting, so just quickly, this is the blades that go on the back. This is the main, and this is the pilot seat that goes on the neck. These are all yellow. B2 is all of the purple bits, which look very shiny. Yep, this is metallic purple here. Looks pretty good. And it's a very, very close match for the paint on this as well. This is always a problem when they have like painted bits that are supposed to match the color that other bits are molded in. It never comes out matching quite exactly, but these actually look fairly good. Yeah, more main stuff here because, you know, this combines with these yellow pieces for some pretty nifty color separation. And finally, we have the pre-painted parts in your usual separate baggies. I'll get all of these out here. Most interested in the head armor, but let's look at these first. Oh, okay. See, this actually has like sort of an airbrush gradient. It seems to be molded in yellow, and then they sort of put this gradient on here. This is new. That's never been done before. Same thing here. See, there's a whole gradient from like purple to yellow on the blade bit that goes on the back. Interesting. Also on the head here, seems to be the same color but sprayed over the purple here. And then of course this crest here is painted yellow. Same thing here. And this one has a yellow detail in the middle here. That's a lot more than I expected, to be honest. And certainly like this gradient here is something that we've never seen before on a pre-painted Zoids kit, so that's pretty damn cool. Okay, so finally we have C. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in this and I'm really not sure why. So we have, like we saw in the parts list, we have all of these extra weapons, which I'm actually not 100% sure if these have been in weapon sets before, because I don't know if I have all of them. They look better than most Zoids Wild weapons have looked, though. This has a proper barrel opening here, and also, you know, with these like pistons and all this stuff, it actually looks like a weapon, except on the underside. Yeah, this looks more like sort of a standard Zoids Wild customized weapon. It's just such a shame with the hollow barrels all the time. The like a bazooka projectile something. This is some sort of pile bunker weapon. Then we have buzzsaws. Or, I don't know, this looks like main/claw. Another one of these cannons. I mean, each part here is, each one of these is in here twice, right? So we got these shovel blades here. Chainsaws. I may have to keep those for like, I don't know, like a Zoids X Warhammer custom or something. Some sort of connecting piece, another one of these bazookas, and another one of these pile bunkers. And I guess these are the bits that are actually meant to go on it for the like Monster Hunter tie-in build. We have, these seem to have another one of those gradients on them. So first of all, we have these two blades. Again, painted yellow with a gradient, and you can see here's a sharp edge in here, and then across the blade it's more of a gradient type deal. Same thing here. I'm really curious to see what this is going to look like when it's assembled. My guess is it's going to look good. And we have these two plates here that also have a yellow to purple gradient on them. Although I have to say with these here, this looks like what happens when you make a mistake when you're airbrushing. It's like splotch, like it's thicker here all of a sudden, so the gradient's not clean. And this part has the same problem. It looks like there's going to be things on top of this anyway. And then again, Zoids WoW kits always have pegs everywhere, so we'll see. Anyway, that is all of the parts for this kit. I am now, you know how it works, I'm going to assemble this, and then we're going to check it out in the photo booth. Before we do that, though, I completely forgot to take out the stickers. It's certainly worth looking at here because it has what appears to be a Monster Hunter emblem here, because this is copyrighted by Capcom. So we've got unique stickers for this kit as well on top of everything else. Alright, so let's do the comparisons first. To the right here, we've got the original Beast Liger, and yep, the Magai's an improvement. Although I wonder how much the white parts of the Beast Liger would benefit from some panel lining. Just out of the box with nothing done to them though, the color scheme of the Magai just really makes everything pop more, and then of course there's the painted on gradients as well. Oh, and also, here's the Proto Beast Liger, which exists, and so I figured I might as well show it here, but of course it's also white, and it still looks a bit wimpy because of the reduced armor, so it's not really serious competition for the Magai. Now, let's see if it still walks with all that weight on the tail. Well, looks like if anything the extra parts on the tail help balance it all out a bit, because it certainly walks just fine. I also remember there were some problems with the blades not working reliably on the original Beast Liger, or at least on mine, and I ran this one multiple times while I was filming this with no issues. Now, I'm not going to awkwardly read you my translation of the backstory like I did in the last video, because there isn't really much to say. Basically, the idea is that some creatures from the Monster Hunter universe ended up on the Earth of Zoids Wild, and because they don't have Monster Hunters there, they have to use Zoids instead. I don't know if it's the Google translation, but it all seemed a bit disjointed, and there's also no reason why they would have to create Zoids that mimic Monster Hunter creatures to hunt them, so this really doesn't make any sense, but it's nice that they tried. Anyway, I don't really know much of anything about the Monster Hunter games, so if you came here because you're a fan of those, I'm not really sure what I can tell you that's of any use to you. But as a fan of Zoids, I'm very pleasantly surprised with this release. I really wasn't expecting much. I mean, on the face of it, this is just a recolor with some extra parts that have also been released before, and it's a tie-in with a franchise that I'm not familiar with.
In all honesty, I almost canceled my pre-order at Hobbylink Japan, but now I'm actually glad I didn't. I mean, sure, it's just a recolor, but it does look significantly better than the original version, at least for my tastes. And it also has the distinction of being the first and so far only Zoid that has color gradients painted on from the factory. And then there's also the fact that, like the Patlabor crossover, this does come with a completely new box, a new instruction booklet, and new stickers, so it really isn't the lazy cash grab release you initially might have thought it is. So, in other words, if you were on the fence, I would say I recommend you get this thing. But conversely, there also isn't anything here that's some hidden reason why you need this if you previously thought it's a pass from you. And that's it for this one. Much to everyone's shock and surprise, I'm sure, my next video is going to be the Monster Hunter version of the Sonic Bird, and then probably the HMM Gaisak. So if you made it this far, like the video, leave a comment, and if you like Zoids and you want to see more, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I also have PayPal and Patreon links in the description if you want to help me with my Zoids budget, but just doing the, the engagement things and watching the ads already helps me out as well. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.